Good morning. It is Freedom Friday on the Own Your Now show. Everybody come on in, grab a cup and tell a friend that it is time for the Own Your Now show. And when I tell you we got a fun show for you today, come on in and see who we have on our show today, Freedom Friday. We have educators in the house. Dr. Daryl Diggs, Dr. Howard Fields. We got Eliani Campbell with STL Biz and Regina Webb with Web Solutions. When I tell you that we got a treat for you today, you've got to come in and see. Come on, everybody. Come on in, grab your cup, and let me know if it is full or what, because it's time for the Own Your Now show. Good morning. I see you. Good morning, Tanya. All right. Today I had to do In the Stone because I just felt like it was time for us to get it going. Woo! Good morning, Gina. I'm looking at these words. Every man I meet walk in time. Free to wander past the conscious mind. All right. Good morning, Melissa. Good morning, Rachel. Shout out. I see you. Today is going to be awesome. I see that you guys are telling me what your cups are full of. I see you all. Good morning, Brenda. Come on in. Today is going to be so exciting. And, you know, I had to play this music in the background because when I thought of the lyrics to this, standing tall, all the things that represent freedom and the things that we're going to talk about today, I just thought, you know what, In the Stone, when you hear this song, life experiences passing, days, time will witness what the old folks say, getting stronger every day. Strength is written in the stone. Y'all hear that? All right. All I can do is just sip on it. All right, Gina says her cup is full. She's drinking water. Yes, yes, yes. Woo, Earth, Wind, and Fire. You can never go wrong with Earth, Wind, and Fire. Okay, y'all know I'm from St. Louis. Earth, Wind, and Fire. It's Earth, Wind, and Fire. And they bring it all. Those are the elements that we're bringing today to allow you all to see what freedom looks like. So I just want to say good morning. Thank you guys for staying with us this week. Every day, Monday through Friday, we have the Own Your Now show where we talk about a different topic every day. And today is Freedom Friday. And when I tell you, you guys are going to break free, I promise you that you will, because we have so much to talk about. This week, we focused on educators and put a face to who our educators are and were. And you know what? That's one of the things that I wanted to ask you guys. Like, how many of you all remember how many African-American male teachers you had in your life? Can you name one? And today, if you at any point you want to shout out a teacher, please shout out a teacher or a principal or a counselor or whoever it was that impacted you. Shout them out today. But I want you all to think about that because we're going to tap into that at the end of the show. And you do want to share this today because it's going to be powerful. It really is. And whoever shares today, I will go back and make sure that I send you guys something special. I promise. But I want to start off today. You see, my cup says Black Coffee Matters because I have a guest with us. Her name is Eliani Campbell, and Eliani started STL Black Biz. She actually started this process of thinking it through in 2014, but it relaunched this week, and I want her to tell you all why. So everybody, welcome in. She's on the move. Eliani Campbell. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
How are you?
I am great. I'm feeling good. It's Friday. Feeling awesome.
Yes, it is. So I got to start off by asking you what's in your cup.
In my cup on the go, I have ginger turmeric tea mixed with watermelon peppermint.
Wow, that's gonna keep you going and keep you moving. So you said you are on the go, and you know what? Everybody needs a balance. You know, I love my coffee, and earlier this week, everybody kept talking about the tea. There's a lot of things that you have inside your tea that will help with our immune system. So we got to realize that. I'm looking here. Carmelita says, good morning, coffee with French vanilla, sipping on some vitamin C tea. So
Sounds
Talk
good.
to us. You're on the go. I know you're on your way to work, but you also have a business that pours into our community. Tell us why STL Black Biz.
Why STL Black Biz? Because literally I was driving around and noticed there were a lot of Black businesses that I did not know about.
Yes.
And another reason, if I want to find a Black restaurant, I'm going through Google, going Black restaurants, and they all don't come up. So I want to have a space for Black businesses, nonprofits, organizations to have one space where you can come and click just a couple of buttons to find what you need. Also for Black businesses and consumers, people that want to shop Black, to be able to find this space.
It's interesting that you say that because we had Kathy from Kathy's Kitchen on last week, and we were talking about how important it is for us to be intentional about supporting our communities. And it's also important that our communities realize the value of giving back, because that's how we thrive. So you said that you were relaunching because you wanted to make it affordable to everybody. Tell us what that looks like.
What that looks like, price wise. My
Yes.
thing is not to get rich off of this. My dream, not dream, my goal, and what we're going to do is to have as many Black businesses as possible. Even if you're selling soap out of your car or you're baking goods at your house, that's fine. Put it in there, because people are searching for Black businesses. I'm always getting DMs saying, where can I find a Black lawyer? Where can I find a Black this? Where can I find a Black florist? And I feel bad when I can't tell them. I feel bad that I don't have these businesses in STL Black Biz, because I'm supposed to know. So that's why, and
it's also important that they're legitimate, like get your LLC,
yes.
Get your business in order.
That's a
I can't wait to talk to Regina Webb talking about Web Solutions, but getting your business in order and making sure that when we contact you, that we know that you're legitimate. You have a website that they can find all of this. I've been checking it out. You're growing. During this pandemic, everybody is just shifting and pivoting. And I love it. Ellie, I seen you work. I see you spotlight the men in our community, all the things that we need to do to uplift everyone. And I just, we went to high school together, but people don't understand. We went to a very small high school, and we didn't even travel in the same circles. And we realized we probably were right behind each other when we graduated, because I was B and you was C.
Yeah, I need to go look at the picture.
At the end of the day, we come back together because that's what STL is about. And that's what we represent. And I can't wait. Everything today is STL. So tell them your website. How can they find you?
The website is www.stlblackbiz. Very user friendly, very easy to enter your business in there. If you have questions, you can inbox me at info@stlblackbiz. We also have Facebook, STL Black Biz. I'm thinking about another page I have.
Yes.
STL Black Biz and Instagram. There's lots of ways to find me. And you can go in Eliani Campbell. I'm the only Eliani Campbell that's going to come up.
And today I was telling someone about STL Black Biz yesterday, and they want to sponsor 5 people. So if there are 5 businesses that says they want businesses, Eliani, we're sponsoring 5 people today to just inbox you and say, hey, I want to be in STL Biz, and you will get that membership for a year and access to everything. And so I love it, because we have to connect, and that's what's important, connecting with STL Black Biz, with our Heartland Black Chambers, and making sure that we have the resources. Mm-hmm. So I thank you so much. I want to know, because I know you're running, what is your affirmation word of the day?
My affirmation word is push. You got to, as my son used to say when the light turned green, push, mommy, push. Push.
That's right. We have to push. We have to push forward. So I appreciate you. I appreciate everything that you're doing. I see that you're on the road and you're moving, and that's what STL Biz is about, us all being on the move. So stay connected. Love seeing you. Keep me updated and keep sipping, and be safe. Be safe while you're in the streets.
Thanks.
Okay. So that's Eliani Campbell, STL Black Biz. You think about starting businesses and you realize that, you know what? You got to have resources. What does it take to start a business? How do you know that you need to make sure that your Bradshaw and Dunn and everything is connected? Your banking is right. We have some creative solutions. We have a woman that is in the house today. And when I tell you, when I started talking to her, I'm like, wow, this young lady, she has vision. She talks about so many things that are important to her, her dreams, and how she can make her dreams a reality, but in the process, bring about solutions for you too. So let's bring in Regina Webb. She's coming all the way from Houston, Texas today. But guess what? Her home is STL. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to you.
How are you today? And what is
I'm
in
great.
your cup?
I have pomegranate green tea with a little bit of lemon and honey in it.
I love it. She said,
I'm a tea drinker.
you know what? We need the honey. We need the lemon. A lot of people are losing their taste and losing their smell. And they tell you that's one of the first things you got to do is keep smelling the lemon and tasting it to see if it's going to come back. So
Yeah.
these are things that we need to build our immune system. We're talking about the whole person, mental, physical, spiritual, financial. Eliani talked about starting a business. You're talking about making sure that if you're going to start a business, but you got to start with yourself first, and how important is your worth. So your shirt says credit. What's your score? Let's talk about this. You said 3 things that we need to do to get our financial wealth together, how important that is. Talk to us about that.
Well, the first thing I think about is a lot right now. We're talking in the community that bring back Black Wall Street. But the truth of the matter is, the only way that we can bring back Black Wall Street is we have to search ourselves first.
Yes.
So what does your credit score say about you? When you go into a business, your score speaks for you. And for me, I was telling you the example of that happened when I went to the business, when I went into a business after I got my credit repaired, and how the lady whole demeanor changed. And she gave me a wealth of knowledge that did not give me the first 20 minutes of our conversation before she knew my credit score. I realized then that my score is my name. And it's very important to have a good name and a good score if you really want to make an impact in your community, in your family, and in your life.
Yes, I like that. You said in your family, leaving a legacy in your community, in your life, because that's how we make our dreams a reality. And that's one of the things that the banks ask you. And oftentimes, like you said, I remember you saying, we know our celebrities' net worth, but do you know your own net worth? And do you
Do
value?
you know? Yeah.
I often
And
say,
a lot of people don't. They don't even know what net worth is. They don't understand the assets and liabilities and all that. They don't even think they have a net worth because they just look at their debt. But the
yeah,
truth of the matter is, all of us have a level of net worth, and that comes with what I was sharing with you, something with our protection plan. God is a holistic God, right? Our finances is holistic. It's not just credit. It's not just having money. It is a huge balance of it all to be successful in your credit, in your finances, and in business.
so, we were talking earlier, and you talked about the importance of having clearing up your credit, which is something that you are able to help everyone to do, being able to pay off your debt and manage your money. But you also talked about in this bundle packet. I remember talking to Kathy Conley Jones. She's on here today. She says, serve ourselves first. She talked to me about when my mom passed away, how important it is for us to have our house in order, because, a lot of times we fight over things. And one of the things in your packet talks about, you called it the peacemaker. And that is a will. Tell everybody how important that is.
It is utterly important, especially in this day and time when we have so much unexpected death. Everybody should have a will, trust, and medical and financial power of attorney. In the time that comes, nobody should have to fight and argue over who's going to make a decision, right? Nobody should fight and argue over, once that person is gone on, who's going to have grandmama's pearls, who's going to have her Cadillac. That is not the way that we should transition. We should be
A house
able to
shouldn't
have
be
that
in
ability.
probate. It shouldn't. It just
Right. It
shouldn't.
should not be, because at the end of the day, say if someone did have life insurance, long as we're fighting over it and it's in probate, that money is going
Right.
lower and lower. And think about Prince. Think about Aretha. Why in
Yeah.
the world did they not have something set in stone? Listen, it's appointed
Yeah.
to everybody to get out of here,
Michael
right? And why not have your
Smith,
house in order?
know your net worth and control your narrative. If anything, everybody needs to get their house in order. That's what they need to know. So they can reach you how? I know you're on Instagram. How can they find you?
Yes, I would love if you could follow me on Instagram. That's more my business page. That is just the letter B, and then Web Solutions, WEBB Solutions. So you can follow me on Instagram. You can call me. My number is 832-566-9207. If you want to
Woo!
look and learn more about our protection plan that she's speaking of, you can go to thecreditfreedomteam.com, thecreditfreedomteam.com. You can reach me. I'm here to serve you. I'm here to help you make your dream a reality by getting your house in order first.
You got to get free, you know, and I like, you know, that you also stated that. And that's why I was glad that Eliani was on today, that once you get your dreams and things in order, then you're able to give back to your community. And you stated to me that your ideal dream was to create a residential facility for elders. And that was one of your dreams. And to be able to come back to do the home health solutions in St. Louis was really important. I like that you're taking care of yourself so that you can build wealth and be able to be a community resource for others. That's what STL is all about. That's what I love about everything that we do. You know, even with this Own Your Now show platform, it's not about me. It's bigger than me. It's about you. And the fact that you said, I'm going to do what I need to do to take care of my family, and then I'm going to give back. You're going to be in the STL Biz, and we're all going to reach out. Everybody's getting information. There you have it. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate everything that you shared. And I look forward to meeting you one day face to face. Tell everybody, what is your affirmation word?
My affirmation word is service, and that is a part of me. My dad is a bishop. He's been in ministry over 50 years. I've watched them serve people. So it's part of my genetic DNA, so to speak, to serve people. And, you know, there's a word that says service to many leads to greatness. So my affirmation word is serving. To serve God's people is the most humbling thing that we can do.
Okay, so we have push and we have serve. And you know what? It's going to keep going and it's going to keep growing because we're going to do this all together. That's what the STL is about. Even though you're in Houston, we got your back. So thank you. And they can connect with you regardless of where they are, because this is a movement that you can find regardless of where you are. So,
nationwide. We do serve all of the U.S. territories, U.S., Puerto Rico, Guam, and the U.S. Virgin Islands.
All right now. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.
So, okay, we busting out with the STL Black Biz, right? We have a business that'll help you to get your credit right. That's freedom. Now we got to talk about education and how important it is for us to make sure that we provide service to our youth. I asked you guys earlier to shout out educators that you knew of. I wanted you guys to tell me how many of you, this is the big question I want to ask, because I want to shout out a few educators, Linda Butterfield, Rachel Stewart. They're visiting STL from Idaho. I want to know how many of you had a Black male educator in your life that made an impact. Just tell me, did you have one? Because I know the year that I went to school, and I kept thinking I went from elementary to middle to high school, because I didn't really have middle school. I was like K through 8. And I do remember the Bosman twins. They both were our music teachers. And I learned so much from them, because not only were they in my school, they were in my community. That meant a lot to me. And then when I got to high school, of course, I went to an art school. So we had Della Theffer. We had a few, but not many at all. So I'm asking you guys, do you remember? Start thinking about my kids when they were going to school. And I remember one teacher, Mr. Pooley and Ferguson Florison, and how impactful it was that all of my kids wanted to be in his class, and how important that is. And so I'm saying this because we have 2 educators that are in the house with just a wealth of experience. And I want to talk. I'm so passionate about this because I don't know, you guys may see my energy, but I stayed up all night long because I wanted to make sure that I knew everything it was to pour into you guys about these men. So Dr. Daryl Diggs Jr., I'm just going to bring him up while I talk about him. Passionate, forward-thinking strategist. Like, let me tell you something. He started his career as a middle school science teacher in Parkway School District, transitioning to assistant principal. And then now you just got the launch code with the Black Educator Male STL. In addition to this, you have also transitioned to a new space that you're in the St. Charles School District. But right now, we want to talk to you, and I'm just going to hold it right there. Hold it, as we bring in co-founder Dr. Howard Fields. You know, co-founders, these are co-founders. Missouri Distinguished Elementary Principal of the year 2020, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources. Doctors are in the house, everybody. Congratulations for everything that you're doing. You know, STL Biz said that they started their business on Monday, but you guys, you are blowing up the scene because you literally launched what? Let me show y'all this. Voices by Black Male Educators STL. And when I tell you, y'all want to know why I stayed up all night long? Because I read the entire book, and I want to thank you both for being on. Good morning, Daryl. Good morning, Mr. Dr.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Dr. Fields. What's in your cup, Dr. Diggs?
Right now in my cup is black coffee, aka hustle juice.
AKA hustle juice. That's right. Good morning, Dr. Fields. What's in your cup?
Good morning. I have some H2O, feeling good. Holy water, feeling good.
I love it. You know what? Every time that we had the kids on, they kept talking about how they have water and juice in their cup. And so we know that we're teaching them the right way. I am so excited about everything that you all are bringing to the table. I remember last year. So last year I went to the symposium, and, you know, it was so amazing. I believe when I went, I feel like it was an UMSL, and you guys had several, and everybody was there. And when we left, we were like, what's next? Like, we're ready to go. And now you drop voices. And when I look at this, when it says many of the most effective Black men in education were never encouraged to pursue a career in education. Imagine what we could do if we shifted the narrative. And I'm looking at everybody here talking about the teachers in their lives that inspired them and uplifted them, and how important that is. Talk to us about Voices, which just was released this week, exclusive. Talk to us about why. First off, why Black Male Educator STL, Dr. Fields, why?
Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for having us to utilize your platform. I learned so much from the previous two guests, and I appreciate you having us on. I think a lot of times in education, some experiences that many of us have, they're good, but unfortunately for too many Black males as students, they don't have the best experience unless it has something to do with sports or something like that. And so what we found is that as an affinity group of Black male educators, there were some things that we were dealing with in the education field that we wanted to make sure we formed a bond in a group to support one another. Because absence of that level of support, folks will begin to leave the field. And that's not going to be great for all students, but in particular, Black male educators. And so our logical thinking was, if we can form a strong bond, if we can focus on recruiting, retaining, mentoring, and supporting Black educators, but in particular Black male educators, not only will that keep Black males in the field, but that would also provide some level of avenue where other folks can come into the field.
Absolutely. You are saying that there is a huge need. In reading, I started reading the book, and I finished it this morning. When you talk about the need of having educators in the field, we often think about it's limited. When I see someone said George Edwards, teacher at Vashon, who later became an administrator. It is limited. Tell us how it feels when you walk in a space. Representation is everything. Like, representation is everything. And I read that in your book. I read about grit and how important that is. Let me tell you all something. But you talk about representation. Daryl, you've been in a lot of different spaces, Dr. Diggs, that did not always look like you, but you had to show up and do more than just enough. And yesterday, watching the funeral of Mr. Lewis and seeing Obama come in, reading your book was like, yes, come on in, come on through. We need this. How important is that for our community to see our men in our school system?
It's vitally important that we're able to see role models, that we're able to see examples of excellence. And so in the spaces that I've been in, it's important that I know that, again, one, I'm their educator, but more importantly, I may be the only image that they see in this space, in their classroom, on their sports fields, that is also a Black male and an educator at the same time. And so in our group, BME STL, like that's what we're striving for, to increase, the Black males in education, plus also to retain those from leaving the field. Being truthful, in most educational spaces, conferences, symposiums, whatever, I will be the only one, or very one of few. And that needs to change. We need to change the narrative. So for example, there are young boys and girls that are in classrooms right now where they will graduate high school without having any type of Black male experience in the form of education, right? And as I think about my own two young boys, I want them to be able to have that experience beyond me being their father. I want them to be able to have a Black male in their classroom to provide, again, that lens, that experience, and that opportunity.
You guys are providing mentorship for our young men, as well as the educators that really need that push of seeing us come together. Statistics, they always tell us the statistics of what's happening, out in the community, but they're not talking about the need of having the strong voices. So I'm looking at this. So I just got to shout out, most of the time when we hear about statistics and we hear names being called out, these are names of people that we have lost. But these names are people that are living their life to the fullest. Fields, Diggs, Moore, Triplett, Lowe, Anthony, Bobo, Jones, Daniel, Smith, Givens, Jackson, Smith. Let me tell you, when I started reading this book, number one, I had to pull out my laptop because I'm a writer. I love social emotional learning. And I need to have a book in my hand. But you all wrote this book during the midst of a pandemic where everybody's not touching physical things. But to have this book here, it wasn't just something as a woman to get me to understand more about the Black male's perspective, but also as a mother with a son. My son told me he's about to go away to college and they'll probably have them in a space that they can't move about. And he said, I guess I'll catch up on my Netflix. No, you're going to catch up on Voices. You hear me? And let me tell you why. Because when I opened it up and I started scrolling through it, let me tell you guys something. This is excellence. And the voices were coming off the page. You guys talked about being raised by your grandmothers, being in a space where it's just only you. Literacy versus illiteracy. Let me tell you all about these men. The words, the fact that you have it on a Kindle, you can literally get the definition of words that I didn't even know. But I'm like, okay, no, our kids are not illiterate. It's illiteracy because guess what? They are not seeing positive representations of themselves in books. So it's not of interest to them. And that's what you guys are doing here. So current projects, because I'm just all in. The book just came out, it's on Amazon. And just like Eliani said that it's not about the money, Dr. Diggs, you said the same thing. This book ain't about the money. It's about the message.
It's about the message and also the opportunity to show and to be able to be that voice. Like, hey, there are a variety of stories out there from across the region, and this is where they ended up. And you also can be the same and also take this step and go higher. I tell my boys all the time, like, I need you to be better than me, greater than me, stronger than me. And if I'm able to provide that platform, create that space, then they have no choice but to be excellent and to succeed. Yes. So with this Voices project, that's what we're doing. We just created a space, collected the stories of brothers from all across, again, the region to be able to showcase their story, their voice, because it's unique. As you go through the book, you're going to hear about passion. You're going to read about perseverance. You're going to get into some elements of grit. And then, yeah, that story that you mentioned about the brother being raised by his grandmother.
Yes.
If you were to sit down with that author, there's more to that story. And so as I think about the next step, there
Yes.
may be a Voices Volume 2.
Yes.
There may be a greater platform around the corner. So again, Dr. Fields and I, it's not about us. We're just trying to create an avenue for our brothers to, him and I talk all the time. This isn't about us. It's about our brothers eating. And that's what we're about.
Yeah. And Tracie, in addition to that, I mean, the pandemic could do that to you. What appeared to be last year, the symposium was this year in January before everything happened. And so it appears to be so long ago, but I will concur with everything that Dr. Diggs just said. You asked what's next. There are a number of things that are next. Even though myself and Daryl, we've been the face for BME, but it's so much more. Some of these stories are spectacular. And I just want to make this known, even though St. Louis BME, which is where we originally started, a lot of the stories are from brothers from Jackson, Kansas City, Kentucky, Tennessee, you name it. And so that whole entire group of individuals that are getting together, working, is trying to move forward. Yesterday, we had a meeting with the Commissioner of Education, and it was spectacular because we have to enact change in policy. When we think about the experiences that a lot of students are having in their space, it's going to start and end with policy. So in addition to putting all these voices out there, both literally and figuratively, we want to make sure that we are doing more than moving the needle with policy. And so we have a memorandum of understanding that we're working on right now that is focused on inclusion, diversity, equity, anti-bias, and anti-racism. Let's spell it out, because we can enhance the number of Black educators in many spaces. But if we also subtract that same number because we did not adequately support them or provide them with growth opportunities, then what did we essentially do? And so Daryl dropped the bomb a little bit and said, maybe there will be a Voices 2, or you'll hear it here on this show. There is a Voices 2, and it's going to drop in January. And so for all of the brothers that are out there, you mentioned your son. He has a story, bmestl.com/voices2. You can submit your story, because at the end of the day, we want to use our platform to enhance our brothers' voices. Your success is our success, and vice versa. And that's kind of some of the pillars that we move by and that continue to keep us moving in this work.
I love it. In one of the chapters, I heard someone said that equity is like the new vitamin water, and everybody's trying to sip it, but you guys are like not just drinking it, you're pouring the cup out so that everybody else can see that we need to balance this playing field, and you're making a voice to the policies that need to change, because we need to do better, and you guys are literally doing the work. Voices is not just about you, it's about our young men, and you're leaving a legacy, not just for your children, but for the entire community. And I think that, when we talk about diversity, it's so interesting that people see something and they're like, okay, Black male educators, STL, this for everybody. Anybody that wants to know the perspective of another person and grow from it, then if you don't pick up the book and read it, get it. So where can they find the book? And I can't wait for the next one. But right now, this is the one. This needs to be like top seller, like viral. Everybody needs to buy the book today. I'm telling y'all right now. And it's so easy to do it. Okay. Tell them, how can they get the book?
Grab the book right now. You can find it on Amazon, the Kindle version. And then we also have the physical book version you can also grab. And both of those are reasonably inexpensive. And the reason for that is because this is a story and a publication that everyone needs to grab. Everyone needs to be a part of and read. So again, it's on Amazon. You can find the links in the show notes, but grab it. Everyone needs a copy. Actually, you need to buy one, and then also buy one for a friend to pass on.
I was going to say, I'm all about being my sister's keeper, but also it's important that we be our brother's keeper. So I wasn't going to say buy one. I was going to say, get your copy first, because you know how I'm like, I have a bookshelf and I said, this is the can't take it with you shelf. You can look at it, but you can't take it with you. But then you need to buy 10 more for somebody else. So you could just pass these out every school. This is part of professional development. And then when all these men come together, then you take your book and you have them sign the page that it made an impact on you. Because every page I was like, yes, yes, yes. That's why I had written in the stone, because you guys are just dropping stones that we need to just put together to make everybody conscious. So I appreciate everything that you guys have to offer.
What's important to understand also, Tracie, if I may, proceeds of the book, we met with the brothers and we were just going to sell them out the trunk of our car and just try to get them out there. But two things became apparent right off the bat. We knew that our voices were extended beyond the St. Louis metropolitan area. And so we spoke with all of the authors, and what we are doing is taking all of the proceeds and we're going to make sure we purchase more books, get them into classrooms. We talk a lot about diversification of our books, of our text in our schools and our classrooms. You have 13 practitioners, Black male educators, that students will be able to see themselves as telling real stories right now in the midst of a pandemic. And so that's happening right now. You need the book. In addition to that, we're also going to use proceeds to move forward with Voices 2. Ron Jackson, I would be remiss if I don't mention, he had the forward portion. And if you know anything about Ron Jackson, he sat on the St. Louis Public Schools Board of Education. He's a wealth of knowledge in himself. He's been so instrumental in the work that we're doing. And I don't even want to put the name out there, but we have another founding father of education, Black male in the St. Louis area, who is going to have the forward section on Voices Part 2. All of this is an opportunity for us to tell our own stories, because if we don't tell our stories when we leave, society will tell our stories. And sometimes it may not be as accurate as we would like.
It won't be. It won't be. It won't be. So everybody, once again, I can't stress enough the importance of this book. Like I said, the words just were coming off the page, and the fact that, you know, you have access to this, you need to get it now. I'm just telling y'all now, get your book now.
Get that right now.
Ready. Cop it now.
Right
share
now.
it and read it. You don't. And the thing about it is, it was an easy read, even though you guys are so intelligent and you're so smart. And some of the words, I even was like, I could click on that word right now. It's like, okay, wait a minute. They dropping some knowledge. This is why I felt it's needed for our young students, because they sing songs and they don't know all the words to it, you know, but they're singing it. You guys literally have a tool that everybody can benefit from. So I thank you all. I appreciate everything that you do. I want to ask, what is your affirmation words of the day? Everybody's going to start dropping their words. Yolanda Langford wanted to know, we want to know, can we donate to Black Men? We want to know, can we donate?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Go ahead, Daryl. Tell them the link.
All right. So the link to be able to donate and also get, you know, all information in regards to BME STL, Black Males Education St. Louis, is through our website, bmestl.com. So bmestl.com. And then you can also reach out to us, you know, through email or through, you know, the chat streams. But yes, we're accepting donations, because that will enact us to be able to further the projects and also this forward movement.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I'm telling you guys, I've seen you guys do the work. You're not just about the talk, you're about the walk. And I can appreciate that. Just the fact that you're from the STL and now local, national, global, worldwide, you all better send it all over, because y'all gonna miss it. And y'all gonna be looking for volume 2. You better get that volume 1 first. Thank you. What is your affirmation words? Everybody start bringing them in. I see Shameem Clark saying increase. Everybody bring in your words. Let's get your word, Dr. Field.
Well, my word, after being taken back to the nostalgia of high school and middle school, watching the No Limit docuseries on BET, I would have to say your worth. Master Percy Miller talked about going to a meeting where someone basically said, "I offer you $1 million," and he left because he knew that if someone would offer him $1 million, he knew he was worth much more. For so many educators, for so many young Black men, we're being so short on our worth. And when you know your worth, when you know it inside, you don't have to worry about someone selling you short. So I would have to say worth.
Yes, I love that. You know, my husband was watching that the other night, and he talked about, man, Percy was on it. And every place that he went, he learned something from other people. And I think that oftentimes we don't see the value of learning from each other. My son, the same thing. We got to learn from one another, and we have mentors in our space. These educators are mentors, and oftentimes we go into the schools and we don't see. We might see a janitor, and shout out to our janitors and our bus drivers and our community. Everybody is essential, but right now it's about being intentional and knowing your worth. Dr. Diggs, your word.
All right, my word is servant. I'm a firm believer that, again, it's not about me, and it's also what can I do for others. And so being a Black male educator, being the only one in many spaces, as I walk into these spaces, there's a lot that walks with me. And I'm pulling folks across the line. How can I serve those and bring them into the room with me? How can I bring folks to the table with me? As I walk into those arenas, I know that there's someone that's walking first.
Yes.
And that is that higher authority. And as long as I walk behind him, there's others that walk behind me.
Amen.
That's
right. That's it. Drop the mic. Look, I ain't gonna drop the book, but drop the mic.
Yeah, grab that book.
And grab the book. All right. So I want to thank you both for being a part of this. This week has been phenomenal. We started off the week with principal from St. Louis Public Schools. We've had Hazelwood. We've had Normandy. We've had University City. We've had Ferguson, Florissant. We're going to continue to spotlight our educators. Now we've had St. Charles. We have Kirkwood. But you know what? At the end of the day, they're representing themselves, because every day that they walk in, representation matters. And that's what these voices need to look like when we show up and we show out. So I want everybody, as I sip my cup of Black Coffee Matters, and I also spotlight my shirt for today. I don't know if you guys can see it. It says that every moment is a defining moment to teach. You can get that. I want you all to understand the value of pushing. We have to continue to push, because when we push, then the only way that we can go is forward. So understand that you've got to do the service work. And when you do the service work, you will know your worth, because you will be a servant. And when you are a servant, then we will all value your increase, because then we will see the possibility of what it looks like when we are showing up and being excellence, not just excellence, but Black excellence. So continue to push forward together, understanding that representation is everything. Progress is everything. Passion is even more. And that's what powerful looks like, when we can come together and understand that when we come together, we will all grow and know that our value is what it looks like every single day. Amen, amen, amen. Today was powerful. Tomorrow will be even more powerful, because we will all have the book and we will be sitting down, drinking our tea or our coffee and reading about voices and waiting for the next one. So if in fact this is your first time tapping in, remember we're here every day, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. If you're going to go out, be safe. But if you're going to stay inside, keep sipping and shelter it in place. Until next time, see you all on the On You Now show. Juice, hustle juice, where's your cup? Where's your cup? Hold your cup up. Keep sipping, everybody, on the On You Now show. Peace.